Welcome to part 2 of my Getting Started video series. Now, in the first video, I explained how best to get started and how you should be actually focusing your time on building your knowledge out, niching down to a market with the express intention of generating good quality lead flow for free, okay? So if you haven't seen that video, it's on this channel. Please do watch that first before going through this one. In this one, I'm kind of talking about the next stage. So we're going to make the assumption that you've gone through those phases that I explained and you're now about to or already generating good quality leads. So what is it we need to go and do next? Well, conventional thinking in this industry is that you would sign as an ISO before you even go and generate your leads, right? And then you get those leads and boom, you're making money, and before long you're a millionaire. And the trouble is that ain't how reality often unfolds, right? Why is that? I've got my own take on this one, but part of that is often because when we start out, we know nothing about broking. We don't know how to join the dots. We don't know how to make money consistently. If that was the case, it was that simple, there wouldn't be so many brokers out there broke trying to work this stuff out. The reality is that to any lender, we're just a nobody, right? We're one of thousands of brokers trying to learn how this stuff works, how to connect those dots, as I say. But the trouble is that we don't know what dots need connecting in the first place. So, to really make money, and I mean money that's going to change your life, that's the reason we're getting into this profession, right? Don't go and find lenders for your lead flow. And I know that sounds counterintuitive. What is it you need to do instead? Well, instead, go find a mentor or mentors, okay? And I mean mentors who are experienced brokers. They know how this stuff works. They've connected the dots. They're making money regularly and they're scaling. So find somebody that's already running a working brokerage, that is a team, it's gone bigger than them, and they're happy to actually share that knowledge, okay, with you. And believe me, they do exist. You just got to get out of your comfort zone and go find those people. And then so you want to do that so you can form a partnership with these people so that you can send your leads to them first. Doing that will enable you to approach this profession, from a position of strength by building your knowledge or continuing to build on that knowledge and creating leverage. So bear with me here. When you're starting out and you're trying to find the right lenders, you're often going to experience less than favorable terms, as an example, because you're a nobody, you have no leverage. Substandard service is a very common scenario, and even backdooring. This is where the lender will actually cut you out of the deal, fund it, and you don't get any commission. There's a number of ways that can happen. Now, I'm not saying that all lenders do this. They definitely don't. But there are some bad experiences, and I think any broker that's kind of gone on to have success can attest to having some of those types of experiences. I know I personally have too. And as I said, you're a nobody when you first start out, and any lender really doesn't have any interest in helping you to learn. They're there to fund deals. You're just another broker doing the same thing as all of the others that are just starting out. Now, as I say, I'm not saying that they all do this, but most new brokers will experience that. And the reality is you are never going to be able to work with any of the top tier lenders with favourable terms and have them take you seriously until you have a proven track record. And that's where the knowledge piece comes in. You cannot have that proven track record until you've built out sufficient knowledge, if you like, to know exactly how those dots are joined, how you actually make that money. And what is a good deal, what is a bad deal, etc., etc. And then the other thing you're going to need there to have these people take you seriously is lots of good quality deal flow, which is your leverage. And that's, again, what I sort of talk about in the first video. So in the first video, you are starting to build out your knowledge. You're becoming the expert in your marketplace, and you're creating leverage for yourself by generating that deal flow. So back into this one, what is it we need to do instead? Well, as I say, step one is to find a mentor and to continue building on that knowledge. So preferably you want one who's already got an established brokerage. It's scaled bigger than just themselves. You're going to need to have that broker that's been there and done it and got the t-shirt and basically lived to tell the tale, right? They're now successful. And obviously you're going to want one that's going to be happy to not only educate you, but is also happy to take your deal flow for a commission split. Now, you may initially be thinking, why on earth would I be splitting any of my commission? Well, again, comes back to you don't know what you don't know when you're starting out. And agreeing on a split in exchange for all of that knowledge that they have, that is invaluable knowledge, they've made all of the mistakes, you really should consider that as an investment in yourself. So you're giving up some of your commission as an investment to be a sponge to take all of that knowledge in, okay? And let's be real, right? A percentage of something is better than 100% of nothing, which is more than likely going to be the outcome if you do try and go through this on your own. My own experience is when I started this thing, it took me 8 months to get my first deal funded. And even then, I hadn't joined the dots. I didn't really know how to make money. I just knew how to get one deal funded. I hadn't learned anything, right? It was a very, very painful experience. Another 3 months after that until I got my second one funded. So I was nowhere close to consistency, which is, again, another big problem that a lot of people have. Had I had a mentor at that time, someone that could basically just share their knowledge of what to do, etc., etc., my progress would have skyrocketed. It wouldn't have taken me anywhere near as long to get things moving. So that's why I suggest to go get a mentor first, to really understand how this stuff works, how to play the game. And just think about how much quicker you're going to learn everything that you need to know and really master this craft if someone was basically teaching you one-on-one, okay? So it's the smart move. I would recommend it to everyone. If I had my time again, I would go and do that. It's a no-brainer decision. Step 2, back to leverage. Create the leverage for yourself. Remember this, whoever holds the money is the king. And if you have deal flow, you hold the money. And yes, not even the lenders win here because they need deal flow to make that money. So when you're getting started, your biggest priority is not, believe it or not, funding deals. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but it is backwards thinking, because if you think bigger and you play the long game, which is the only way you're ever going to really get that success, funding deals should be the byproduct of building your knowledge and the work that you do to create your leverage, which is your deal flow, okay? So instead, we want to focus on these two simple things: knowledge gain and then leverage. Learn everything you can about this profession and also the mistakes that your mentor made. You're going to get a lot more out of that, understanding what they did wrong as opposed to what it is they did right, okay? So be a sponge, absorb everything, and master how you go and get those good quality leads or deals in. And again, as I say, see part 1 of this video series for more information on that. And whilst you were doing all of that learning and mastering your deal flow, now you're creating the leverage. And without that leverage, you don't have anything. But with the leverage, the next phase of your growth is actually more than possible, because leverage is the ticket, your ticket, I should say, to better quality lenders, better terms, and better money. So to summarize, find a mentor and agree on a split. Keep focused on building out your knowledge, master getting good at good quality deal flow, and create that leverage. All right. So hopefully that's helped you guys. Please subscribe to this channel. Please like this video if you found it helpful, and please do comment below, criticism as well. I welcome the feedback. My kind of only purpose here really is to share the knowledge that I have gained, also my colleagues in the business have gained, with you guys that are just starting out and trying to learn how this stuff actually works. And believe it or not, that's actually sometimes harder than you might think, because we often forget a lot of the stuff that we've learned along the way. So I do find your comments helpful, especially if you're critiquing as well. I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys exactly what you need to keep moving forward and ultimately join the dots that I talk about. Because once you do join the dots, this is an amazing profession. There's a lot of money to be made, okay? So if you want to learn more of that and how we actually do things in our program, and how to actually get real estate investors, good high ticket A-grade real estate investors, and get those guys funded, there is a link below this video. You can use that to schedule a call to talk directly to me. I'm happy to share everything it is we do with our program, how the training works, everything, all right? So you can make a decision that is good for yourself. And with that said, obviously we're still in this Corona-19 pandemic, still global, working from home, shooting my videos right now, excuse the small office space. There's actually, on that note, there's some great advantages to doing this broking, because as much as a lot of other people are shutting down and everything else, we see all that stuff in the news, certainly us brokers that focus on real estate, times are still very busy. So the adjustment we've needed to make has been very minimal in comparison to most people, because we can just work at home, we can just kind of put the hours in that we want to put in, so if anything, this is also still a very great profession to learn whilst working at home. It doesn't need to be in the office with all of your different colleagues. So anyway, guys, with that said, I hope this has helped. Please stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.